After you prepare the ground, and that includes tilling it and soiling it, and you add water to it, it's all ready, what's the next thing you do?
You plant the seeds.
You plant the seed, right. And the plant the seed is basically the production meetings and the read-throughs. That's when you first plant the seeds of your ideas to the actors, all right? Now, I forget, I know there's like 5 or 6 directors here. Now, raise your hand again, directors, real quick. Okay, now, if you've also acted, and I mean really acted, raise your hands. 1, 2, that was the and, then no. Okay, and no. Okay, so 2 out of the 8 directors here have acted before. Okay? Just so you know, it's very important, I think it's very important, that a director should act once and be directed by someone so they can feel what it's like and experience what an actor experiences, which we will be doing today in this workshop. Okay, we're going to actually investigate that a little bit. So but right now we're into the read-through and the production meeting. Okay, so let's talk about that. Who can tell me what's the first thing that should happen at a production meeting after the general introductions and names? Who can tell me? Directors, you're at a production meeting with your actors. You're all there for the initial read-through.
Go over the character
all
list.
said your names. What?
Go over the character list.
Okay, go over the character. And what does that entail? You don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's fine. Your job as a director now is to inform the characters, or the actors, how you see this character. So if we were doing, let's say, Pirates of the Caribbean, okay? And I go to Cedric and I say, Cedric, okay, so we're doing Pirates of the Caribbean and you're gonna play the lead pirate. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, here's how I see him. He's kind of flamboyant and he's really kind of cocky. And he doesn't really take no for an answer. And he has a tendency to go over the top. And so as you're reading this, what I like is that sort of energy. If I can get the energy from you for that, that'd be great. Now, Johnny Depp goes, got it. I'm going to play him a little drunk. See, that's his idea. He took your idea and then said, I'm going to interpret this way. It means I'm a little drunk, which means that I can kind of get crazy, and it works, right? That's what you do. You have to give every actor your detail and how you see their character. And let them fill in how to do that. Don't tell them how to do it. You just say, this is what I want. You make it happen, okay? And what you should do also is, during that read-through, tell them, I mean, when they're rehearsing at home, you know, they should not be really acting. But for that read-through, you should encourage them to really do it as best they can without the rehearsals that you've had, right? Because they haven't had one yet. Just to see where they are and how they work together, right? Okay, so they're going to have that read-through. So how should the actors be seating at this read-through?
Shouldn't the opposites be sitting opposite of each other?
Yes, you could be. I personally, myself, like to have the actors who are working with each other sit next to each other, so that I also can say, okay, these people are in most scenes together, then it's these people over here, then it's these, you know, then visually I'm saying, okay, I'm seeing how this works. And also we see the relationships too. You can see them because the ones who are closest together are always the ones that are together, right? So the ones who are like, you know, have 1 or 2 scenes and somewhere else, they're over here somewhere. But that way, all your crux of your main actors are right there. So you as a director don't have to keep going, you know, and looking at all across the tables and all that. Okay? So your actors should be sitting according to who they interact with the most in that film. So, also, I want to backtrack real quick. So after you've given your interpretation of the character to the actor, what should you do then? Before you have the read-through, I forgot one important thing. What should you do? You should ask the actor how they see their character. So you can say, okay, I understand now, you may have a different, you have a kind of different twist than I don't see him as being outgoing in this. I see him more like kind of reserved and quiet. Okay, so as a director, you have two choices. What are your two choices at that point? Let's say you want flamboyant and crazy and outgoing, and he says, I see him more reserved and kind of like aloof. What are your two choices that you have as a director with that kind of actor?
Let's pick one.
Just pick one. But what would put you? You're the director. You're the director. You can't say just pick one. You can pick one. Is that being a director?
No, I mean, I mean the director would have to pick one.
Right.
Make a decision on.
Exactly. But so what could you do so that it seems very fair and very not so like, tyrannical, like do it my way or no way at all?
Try to find a way to work around it. See if you can make both of them work.
Right. Okay, one option is to say, okay, here's what we'll do. Why don't you do maybe the first scene or two, you read it, do it your way. Just so I can hear it. And then for the rest of it, we'll do it the way I want to hear it. And I'll see which way sounds better. Just that way. Now, as a director, you know what's going to happen. Most likely, you're going to like your way better. Directors, they're pretty set in their ways. I mean, I've directed, I know what it's like. This is how I want my scene to be. And, you have to learn to have a little leeway, but has to be pretty darn good to make me change my mind, right? So, but by doing that, by giving the actor the idea that you're listening to him or her and or her ideas, and if you say to him or her, oh, you know what, I did like it, but I really want to stick with my version, they can't say to you, oh, he didn't even give me a chance, right? So you kind of, now, of course, this is all just, suggestions. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm saying that one way to approach an actor who has a different vision than you for the character is to allow them the benefit of trying it at least once. And it's only a read-through, right? It's not really a rehearsal. So it's not like you've started anything, right? You're not really losing any time with a read-through. All right, so you're going to have the read-through. You guys have discussed the characters, on both ends, and then what's the next thing you should do before the read-through happens? You should discuss the relationships of the characters so they know how they should be talking to this person that they're talking to. Now, obviously, if the waiter is saying, may I help you, you don't need to talk to that actor about, his need or emotion or the relationship between him and the customer because he has one line. But you might want to say, if you were doing, George and Martha, you might want to say before the read-through to them, you might want to say, now just so you know, this couple has a tendency to fight back and forth and use their words as weapons. Bless you. All right? They use their words as weapons. So when you say something that's a weapon, I want to feel that weapon hitting that person. Because that's how they attack each other. They don't fight. It's all verbal and mental abuse, that couple. It's written brilliantly, But you have to also lay out that ground. The emotional quality and relationships of those characters. And you know this now because you did the research, right? That was the ground that you just worked on. So you do that. So you get all the emotional qualities out there. You do that. You have the actors sitting next to each other for the read-through, and then you have the read-through. And you'd have them do it at full level so you as a director can know what you're working with and what you need to draw out of the characters and what you need to have them pull back on.